Hello and welcome to another episode of News N Chuckles, your campus podcast where serious conversation meet curious minds and every now and then we actually create something that matters. I am your host for today, Srinidhi, and today we are starting with a proverb. You know, they say journalism is the first rough draft of history, and if that's true, today's guest is the kind of journalist who keeps a pen handy, asks tough questions, and still makes it in the time for the 9 p.m. news. Joining us today is award-winning journalist and deputy editor, South India at NDTV, Deepak Bopanna. From his early days at News 9 to hosting prime time on Mirror Now and now leading the Southern Bureau at NDTV, Sir's career is a masterclass in sharp journalism and even sharper instincts. Welcome, sir, to our podcast.
Thank you, Sri.
Okay, sir, let's start at the very beginning. So, News 9, local city stories, English news, you have experienced it all. So, sir, was there any moment where you thought that, yes, this is what journalism actually means?
Well, initially, it takes time for you to really understand, what journalism means. It takes you maybe some, because initially you get introduced to a career, you start working there, you see a lot of things. Like, for example, you're sitting now in a studio. You're lucky that you're getting all of these facilities in campus, right? And when you go land up in a job where you see this for the first time, you're taken aback. How does this work? How do these lights operate? How do these cameras work? How are they switching between one camera to the other? So these are things that initially it is about you experiencing these things, and as you then start doing work, you write stories, you report stories, you anchor, and then you start seeing change in the lives of people because of the work that you've done. I think that's when you start to understand journalism and see the impact of journalism.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful answer. So, sir, let's talk about the change, like with the rise of influencers, Instagram Reels, citizen journalism, meme journalism. Do you think that mainstream media still holds the power it did once?
Absolutely. I think the relevance, the importance of mainstream media or, media houses that come with an essence of, or rather come with certain values to uphold, imbibe that into their staff, ensure that they uphold these values. These are very important in today's age. Like you said, anybody with a phone thinks that they're a journalist, right? And I was talking about this a little while earlier when I was speaking to a few of your batchmates or college mates. So, for example, if somebody in campus puts out a video there and thinks that's news, do you think that anybody can believe anything that's on the web? Not really. So that's when the credibility comes in. So you, over the years, start following a certain principle in journalism. Then people believe that the story that you put out has credibility. People can believe it because in today's era where there is access to everything that's happening through social media, to believe something becomes very important. Then the advent of AI again makes it very difficult for you to. It's a fine line between what's true and what's fake.
Yeah.
So that's where, journalists, media houses, and the quality that they bring in, the quality checks that they bring in, the standards that they uphold become very important to filter out what's fake, what's just agenda, or even more importantly, what is just rumor.
Okay, sir. So I'm a little curious that are there any lessons, or is there something only experience can teach, and that is not in the journalism textbooks?
Absolutely, I think everything. I think this holds good for almost every profession, other than maybe strict science, where you learn in the textbook and then you implement it. But especially in a field of journalism where things are so volatile, it's dynamic, it's changing every day, I don't think a book is able to do true justice. It can, of course, shape the way that you approach a situation, but you're never probably going to face that situation in a classroom, right? As a journalist, you're going to be in situations that you've never probably imagined that you'll be in. You were probably a viewer at one point in time seeing a situation unfold, a tragedy unfold, a natural calamity unfold, a political situation unfold, an election. But when you experience it on the ground, what you learn from it is probably way higher than what you would get from a textbook.
I think most of the things are learned by experience only.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest skill set, experience.
Okay, sir. So the last and the little serious question. So how do you handle the pressure of reporting on politically sensitive news, where especially in a climate where even the facts are constantly questioned,
Interesting. So you're asking how do I report on political aspects? Like, I try and break that question for me so that I can give you a clear answer.
So it's like, how do you personally manage to be safe and be credible, like together, where the facts are constantly questioned?
Facts, politicians will always question facts when it doesn't please them. So your point or your job is to just be truthful and factual. Now, how to be truthful here, it's very important. Politically, when you do political news in particular, one politician could speak against another politician and that may not be the truth. Your job is to ascertain what is being told to you is factual. And how do you do that? Of course, that again is with experience. You learn who is part of this department, who's part of that department, verify what is being told and present news factually. And of course, politicians always would want the best things said about them. But if it's the truth, then it's also good to say the bad things about them.
Sir, any short story you would like to share? Any experience?
I mean, like I said, every day is a different experience, and doing journalism, that's what is good, because you don't wake up and do the routine. Like, many of them who say that I do a 9-to-5 job, they say they wake up in the morning, they know what they have to do, they have to attend a meeting and then sit on their laptops the whole day, do the same job. But journalism, each and every day is different. Each and every day is an experience, and so it's difficult to really single out one or two experiences. I've had many over the years and I've been grateful for all of them.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for being so candid, thoughtful, and absolutely entertaining today. We wish you many more front page stories and fearless reporting. So, to all our listeners, remember, the truth may not always trend, but it always matters. Catch us next time on News and Chuckles. Until then, stay curious, stay critical. Tune in, turn on, campus on. Thank you.